Hello everybody, I'm Matthew Wilson and SamuraiHex, and welcome back to another episode of Champions of Boss with Górnik Zabrze, the director of football road to glory. Now, my blood is still boiling from a previous episode that I've just recorded. If you don't know what that episode is, you best check yesterday's episode, which was 0 to Hero. It'll tell you what happened. But I've recorded them back to back, and so this might not be the best episode to record or watch. But if you are going to stick around, why don't you like the video? It does help the channel out immensely. Subscribe for more FM23 videos. I've got this series. I've got, of course, 0 to Hero, my Journeyman series, as well as Tactical Masterclass. We try our tactics across the community, as well as trying our own really bad ones, and see how they do with teams in the top 5 divisions of Europe. And we've got a blockbuster episode hit today where we're actually going to be going through the entire January transfer window. It's going to be a massive task. It's going to be a big episode. Hopefully the director of football will do well. Now you might be wondering why it is the 31st of January. Well, the thing is with the extra classer, if you don't know the rules there, is that the winter window is from February the 1st to February 28th. So we've skipped ahead from the World Cup, played a few games in between, and now we're getting ready for the transfer window. So the first thing that's happened between the last episode and up to the 31st of Jan is that Robert the Doc has got a new contract. I think he's been upgraded on his wages actually. I didn't check this time, which is unfortunate because I could have gone back a previous save and checked, but I never checked them. I forgot this time, so hey, I think he's got a bit of a wage rise. And then he said rise and hike in the same tone then. But yeah, he's got a bit of a wage rise, I think. If he hasn't, tell me differently and all that stuff. Also, something that is happening is we've already gone in for a transfer. Someone called Casper Bizveko. I'll say Prizvico. He's a 17-year-old and his contract's actually running up this year. Is he a youth contract? No. So why aren't we able to sign him on a free? It's a bit weird that director of football's going in for a £10,000 rising to £36,000. I kind of hope that deal doesn't go through, even if he has good potential. But yeah, it looks like director of football might be making a mistake on a player he needs to get on a free in a few months' time. Another thing that's happened is Janza has finally had a change of heart and doesn't want to be promised that we get to the latter stages of the Puka Polski next year, which is very good to say because we had promised him we'd get to the latter stages. Well, I wasn't thought it would be possible realistically if we had Champions League football as well as like extra class we would want to win. I'd always focus on extra class in Champions League and not the Puka Polski, even though it is a milestone that we have to tick off eventually. That can come to when we're a very good side. Thankfully, he's not unhappy about it anymore. Now, the budget going into this transfer window, as you might have seen with the transfers, we can only spend about 10,000 properly. We do have a bit of wiggle room with about £400 wage budget, so we can easily, I think, move some of that there. I know it's only moving it to the wage budget. But yeah, we've got 12,000 to spend. Looking like we're going to go for one player. Will we go for more if we sell players? Probably. But I'm unsure if we're leaving to sell players. Now, something else that's happened, we've had a load of staff changes. A load of people coming in. No one's left, but hopefully these people are good. I have not checked them yet, so we'll see them together. So the first one that came in was Marcin Rack, who's a second team performance analyst. I reckon he's good for second team. We've got a second team sports scientist, nowhere near as good. Under 19's goalkeeping coach. Decent for the level I would say that we're at. Fitness coach for the under 19s, I'll say that's okay for that level. Under 19's performance analyst, I'd say that's good for the level. Matthias Muzik is another performance analyst. He's not as good as the other one, but okay. Under 19's physio in Sakura, I wish he was a main team physio. We've also got under 19 sports scientist that is called as well. So 2 good staff changes, additions, some average, most average, but 2 at least are in the yellows, which basically means they're above 10. Something else you should know, I'm on a new contract. So my contract was actually ended in 2023, and Górnik Zabrze have offered me a new contract, and we've accepted it to 2024. Of course, the aim is to be here until we win the Champions League, Extra Class and the Pikapolski, but it's good to see that they have faith in us to do the job. We also have the games since last time, so we played Lignica right after the Pokémon loss, and we actually beat them 3-1, which was good. Then we played a few friendlies during the World Cup, where Southampton we drew, Victor Plzen we won, and Bochum we won. And then we finally just recently gone to Cracovia. Unfortunately, drew that 2-2, mostly because Morosa got himself sent off in the blooming 5th minute. Not good at all. If you wanted to know who won the World Cup, Netherlands won it, beating Brazil 1-0 in the final. Well, Kasper Prizvalko, I'm going to have to learn to pronounce his name, has officially joined us. Basically spending all the money we had at the start of the transfer window in the 10,000, plus a per league appearance of 1.7k over 10 games. And when he reaches 10 league appearances, we then have to pay Wisla Krakow 9k, plus profit of 90% from next sale. I don't think that's a good deal. We've got him on the cheap on his contract with an optional extension for a year, but unfortunately a yearly wage rise, but good at least that's a 25% relegation wage drop. You'll get there, you might not the best deal by a director for football, but we do have a shoestrings budget. That's unfortunate though. We are, however, now overspending by about £40. That is because we're trying to get in this guy, Philip Villa, another youngster, 2-star, 5-star potential ability, much better than the other guy on paper, and he could be coming in with us on an end of contract deal. And Norbert Borgzak might be going out on loan. He's a player who is in my first team plans, you could say. At 17, probably won't be played until he's next year, but it's nice to see him go out and hopefully get a load of game time. Another thing I should have shown you is that Patrick Patelski has come back off his loan from Odra Opel. That is because they were not playing him, they were playing him in their second team. Direct football on the staff meeting said we best recall him, and so I recorded him, and he's come back and he's probably going to be in the first team. So it's a good option for him, and hopefully Direct Football doesn't loan him out straight away. Now, in this transfer special, the winter window, the February window, we are not going to be showing any games. We're just going to be playing them off camera and then showing you what happens, while hopefully Direct Football does all his good work and gets loads of players in. So first game, we played Lechia Gdansk, and we've actually beat them 3-0, which is a very good result. Keeps us 2 points ahead of Rakow in the league, and then the problem is we've got to face them in a couple of games time, and they're going to be a very tough team to play against, given that they're a lot better than us on paper. So first off to tell you, Norbert Borgzak has finally gone on loan. He's gone on loan to Odra Opel, the team that we just recorded someone for. We've got a player possibly joining us. We've made another transfer into this Bartolomew Soa. He's from Wisla Krakow. We'll try and sign him, paying over £10,000 again. The only problem, we've only got £880 in the transfer budget, so I don't know why the Direct Football's even going for him. It's not like we could be able to change all that money in the wage budget that we have into transfer. That'll be up to 10,000. So yeah, he's probably not joining. He's probably going to say delay transfer. I'll delay it as many times as possible until we get the money or until the transfer is cancelled. And just so you know, Filip Vilak, we were trying to sign. He's actually signed a new contract with his parent club, Lech Poznan. That is unfortunate because he looked a very decent prospect. We've just played the game against Radom, and unfortunately we drew it. Yeah, a red card from Richard Janssen practically ruined us, and because of that, Leandro got a goal in the 90th minute to equalise for them. Very, very not very good. Hopefully we can at least get the Lechia Gdańsk Górnik Zabrze team instead of the Radomir Radom against Rakał Czeskawa. Now we've got confirmation for the Bartholomew Soa transfer, but we can't afford him. As I said, I'll just delay it every single time until we either pay for him and we can afford him, because we could afford him, or until the transfer window ends where he'll get his transfer cancelled. Also, another player possibly leaving is Bartosz Baronovic. He is a youngster who could get there. At 20, probably not. He's only played one time for a team the division lower. But the director of football decided to offer him a contract because of three teams going in for him. So whether he signs for us or them, I don't know. Hopefully them, not us. But you never know, because we're technically the better team on reputation, so he'll probably sign for us. Baronovic has actually given us a contract, has accepted our contract offer from the director of football, and will be with us for another year. So he didn't leave like I was quite hoping he would. But yeah, he'll be around for next year and maybe future years if he gets to his potential ability. Another thing to know is Victor Scala, a really good up-and-coming youth prospect, could be leaving. Vods, the team that knocked us out of the Pikopolski in the first round, have offered him a contract. Director of Football's offered him a contract as well, so he will either sign for us or them. Hopefully he signs for us, because he does quite good potential ability. If someone wants to sign him, we can sell him for a bit of a profit, which I hope happens. And unfortunately, we had the match against Rakał Czeskawa. We lost it 2-0. We were nowhere near anywhere good. Yeah, that takes us to second in the league now. We're 3 points behind Rakał. That is not good at all. No, it's the 25th of February, and Victor, I think it's Victor the Scala, Scarva, I don't know. He signed a new contract with us until 2024 after he rejected the one for Volts, and instead deciding to this new contract with us. Another player that could possibly be joining is Presimla Kapok. He is another youngster, this time from Cracovia. His contract's ending at the end of the year. He could be joining us on a free. Kind of hope he does, to be honest. He looks a good player. And something to quickly show. Rakał lost their next game 1-0 to Jagiellonian Białystok. That gives us a great opportunity to get back on terms and on level points with them if we manage to play and win against Stal Melek. Let's hope we do. And we did in fact beat Stal Melek 2-1, and hopefully we now have the momentum and Rakał will lose some more games and we can get back top spot. But now we have the transfer deadline to get to. Now all that previous bits were save points that I've made, and now this is as far as I've got. So now we'll actually be progressing and seeing if the director of football does anything in the last few days of the window. Now the first thing that's happened is Bartłomiej Kubecki has given us has signed a new contract till 2025. He's currently on loan at Hajduk Split but not played a game. Hopefully he'll get better and hopefully he'll do good for us in the future. And here we are, the transfer deadline day is about to happen. Some people are going to be going in, and we're apparently linked with SamuraiHex I know Górnik linked with one of our players. But yeah, transfer deadline day. Apparently, many people that could possibly come in are the ones we're trying to sign, and someone possibly leaving. So it looks like it's going to be quite right transfer deadline day. But we'll still see what happens. And the first thing that's happened is Arco Gdynia have gone in for Polizek, who is one of our starting centre backs, because I like playing him because he's quite young, he will get better, and we could get a heavy profit from him. Either way, he's played 17 times, and Arco Gdynia have offered a contract to him in terms of loan offers. We've rejected, thankfully, which is good and makes me happy. And apparently Kapek will not be joining us because Krakovia have given a little clause, in where they could renew his contract by an extra year through a trigger, and they've decided to do that, so he will not be joining us, unfortunately. Well, this is unfortunate. Polizek, like I was just saying, is one of our starting centre backs because of his age and because of how good he can get. The director of football has decided to accept offers from extra class teams, mind you, and also one from Vaults in the second division, and most of them are fringe players with literally nothing that can help us in terms of money. Director of football, what are you doing? If you hadn't, how has he not noticed that I'm playing him every single game almost? And he's going to get more game time here than he is as a squad player or as a fringe player. But yeah, it looks like Polizek will be leaving on loan for the rest of the season. Yeah, there he is. He has gone to Slask Wrocław. What thing he's playing? He's apparently playing squad player, so at least hopefully he'll get more game times than all the fringe players' contracts. But I still don't see him getting game time, which is just sad because he was getting game time with. This is why director of football journeymans are good. Whether they work with Road Glories, I'm unsure to say, but I wanted to try something different. The Sova transfer has been unfortunately cancelled because we do not have enough remaining budget. Yeah, that's transfer deadline date passed. Now only one player has joined us permanently and at all this winter window, and that is Kasper Prisbilko, coming up to us for £10,000. I think it rises to about 20,000. And the unfortunate thing is his contract was ended this season, so we could easily have gone in for him on a free later down the line, but the director of football didn't. So yeah, he's joined. In terms of loans, 2 people have been loaned out. Barchak is loaned out to Odra Apol, but unfortunately Alexander Polizek, as I said multiple times, I've been playing him quite often. He's been playing decently for his age. I was playing him because of his age and that he could get better with our training facilities at his age of 21. And yeah, he has decided, well, not really decided, forced upon him by the director of football, his acceptance of the loan offer to go to Slask Wrocław. Hopefully he gets game time. Whether he does, I'm unsure, but I doubt he'll get as much minutes as he has been having with us, and which is just going to stunt his development. No matter if Slask have a better training facilities, which is literally the same, but they do have better youth facilities, so maybe that will help in some way. I'm unsure. But yeah, that has been the transfer special. If you've liked this video and you like the pain I was in by losing Polizek, please give it a like. Helps the channel out immensely. You can also subscribe if you're one of those people that is new or a returning viewer that is not already subscribed, because it does help the channel out. It doesn't cost you anything, and like I said, it helps the channel out. And if you are going to subscribe, why don't you hit the bell for mobile notifications, because it does make sure you never miss an upload. You can also comment a word. I say let's comment pineapples. It shows you've been watching the video to the very end. That or you've just skipped till the very end, but I'm not bothered about if you have or not. As long as you watched up this point, I know you're at least bothered in some way about this video and this series. So yeah, say pineapples if you have got to this point. And also another question for people to put in the comments. If, say, the director of football turns into the worst director of football ever, which I know can happen, where some director of footballs decide not to sign anybody for ages or at all, and just sign certain players in certain positions all the time. If that gets to the point, shall I do something which most director of football journeymans don't do? But since this is a director of football road to glory, shall we sack the director of football if he does something bad? That way, a new director of football will come in and he can hopefully bring change as needed. So we're not stagnating. It's only in the very emergency cases where the director of football might be signing nobody and sending a load of players or something like that. So only in those rare cases. So it might never happen in all series, but it might also happen. So if you're willing to let me sack the director of football on those cases, just say I'm willing to see I'm willing to see a director of football leave, and I'll know to do it next time if the worst comes to the worst. Otherwise, you can just comment saying that I want you to keep director of football no matter what, and I will do that as well. So it's basically whichever comments people comment the most, I'll do that by the time it comes to that point. But yeah, I've been Matthew, also known as SamuraiHex, and I'll see you all next time. Hex signing out. Bye everybody.